One of my favorite parts about RuneScape is, on any given day playing, you can easily stumble onto something new and interesting. If you travel to Land's End, there's a bank right near the dock. I came across this player in full Addy G with an obsidian cape. His stats are ridiculous. He has 30 attack strength and defense, and 99 herb lore. Except it's not just 99, in fact he has 67.5 million herb lore experience, which makes him rank 142 in the entire game. So I started hopping around other worlds and pretty quickly found another account. It's wearing the same gear, but this time the account noticed me and logged off. But this account had 61 million experience and was ranked 146 in herb lore. And then I found another account in just a few more worlds away, but this one only had 20 million herb lore experience. It is easy to think that these are bots, but because they have so much XP, I want to give Jagex the benefit of the doubt and say they're gold farmers. And when you think someone's a gold farmer, the easiest thing to do is just ask. This guy basically told me he's making unfinished potions, he does this as a job, and he can play on max 6 accounts at once. A nice little impromptu interview. Let's get into some pretty hidden and interesting bots I've found. Sometimes when you're looking for bots, it's better to start by thinking about an opportunity botters might see. An opportunity like these red balls. Red spider eggs skyrocketed in price for whatever reason at the end of last year. That makes them a viable low requirement moneymaker. So if you check the easiest locations to get red spider eggs, you might find bots. Spidines are creatures in the basement of the Tower of Life, and they drop 3 to 6 red spider eggs. This place has been overrun with bots for the last month or two. They're usually the ones in full rune with a rune chain, but their combat levels vary quite a bit. The easiest way to spot them actually is if you run up close enough to them, they'll automatically log out after they finish the kill. More and more bots do that these days because so many of you are reporting bots and Jagex is banning them through that botters try to minimize ban rates by logging off when they see real players. Bots didn't used to do that, so I know that players reporting them makes a huge difference. I'm pretty sure you can make at least 400 to 500k per hour, and some of these bots must have been here for a long time because some of them only have 50 to 60 combat stats and some of them have trained all the way up into the high 70s. And if you look at the graph of the red spider egg prices again, you can see it's starting to go down significantly from the bottom. The amount traded is going up a ton too as more and more bots sell them off. Other places like the 4th house dungeon that have red spider egg spawns are also overrun with bots. There are at least 20 egg spawns over there, and all the bots only have basically 43 prayer to protect from melee from the spiders. I've also seen these bots stay on the same world and log in and out as the eggs respawn. Thanks to AFK Arena for sponsoring today's video for 60 seconds. It's an RPG with idle elements, hence AFK Arena, and a unique art style called Fresco, the Italian Renaissance mural painting style. As a player, you can collect different cool looking hero cards, invest in them by upgrading them, and assemble your lineup. So AFK Arena is celebrating its 1-year anniversary, and to celebrate you can log in and get 50 scrolls for free to summon heroes, available only through April 20th. The celebration also includes a Samurai Showdown crossover. Samurai Showdown is a classic 2D fighting series that has its roots in the arcade halls back in 1993. It's a really classic arcade game, and maybe some audience members have fond memories playing it as a kid. There's also a new hero joining AFK Arena. I'm definitely gonna butcher the name. Ukyo Tachibana, a classic swordsman from Samurai Showdown, licensed by SNK, and players can get him as a hero for free for 7 days. Use this bonus code HAPPYBDAY0409. Using the code means you get 10 common hero scrolls, 5 birthday gift chests, 500 diamonds, and 7 days of free tryout to play with the character Ukyo. So you can support my channel by downloading AFK Arena using the link in the description. Now, a botter contacted me to tell me about his old Lizardman Shaman bots that farm dragon warhammers. He said back when he did it, he'd get about 4 per day, and back then they were 80 mil. That also means he got about 20,000 KC of Lizardman Shamans since the drop rate is 1 in 5,000. The average value of their drops is currently 18k, but back then it would have been closer to about 25k. That means the farm was making about 500 mil a day, and since I'm guessing he sold the gold, about $350 per day. But it gets way more interesting. So he invested about $500 into the private script, but it turned out the script wasn't perfect and needed to be babysat. So he hired 4 workers botting 4 accounts each. He says he paid them on a per Dragon Warhammer basis. So if they got a Dragon Warhammer, he paid them $10. I don't know where the workers were from, but I'm guessing it's one of the countries where $10 goes a long way. This is the epitome of capitalism in RuneScape. He was botting this back before the landscape around the Lizardman Shamans was updated. So there were crates that allowed for safe spots so that if you placed a cannon in a certain spot, you could just kill them over and over and over again without much risk of dying. The botter said nobody caught on to him, but thought a lot of players were abusing the safe spot. So he says he's one of the main reasons Jagex patched the safe spot. I am very confused right now. On World 392, which is a PvP world by the way, I don't know why they're in a PvP world. There's a group of accounts between 3 and 5 combat in the area of the cooking guild that requires 99 cooking. But they're not training cooking, they're training fletching. One has 136 million fletching XP, and one of them is capped out at get 200 million fletching XP. And because they have such an extreme amount of XP, I thought they aren't bots because they should have been banned by now. I figured the most likely thing was that it was one gold farmer playing on all the accounts. I know this is subtle, but at one point, the two accounts I could see were banking, and then they both started fletching the longbows at the exact same time. It's not impossible for a player to do that, I just tried, but you basically have to be trying to sync them up. Maybe there's just something I'm missing, leave it in the comments what you think. I also don't know why gold farmers would only play on one of these accounts. It's not profitable enough for them, but it's just so hard to imagine that a bot could get 200 million fletching XP. I know there are lots of fletching and cooking alts out there, especially in this guild, but again, the accounts seem to be owned by the same person. They look identical and they have the exact same levels. Let's just hope they're not bots. There's going to be a month-long Deadman Mode tournament over the month of May. I've been sent some footage of bots from the last Deadman Mode tournaments, and a lot of botters say that this one will definitely be taken advantage of again. Just the most basic bot that gets gems from the Rogue's Den apparently can generate 5 to 10 mil OSRS GP per hour once it's swapped over from Deadman Mode Gold. So all of a sudden you do that on 10 accounts and you're making 50 to 100 mil per hour. That's while boxing the accounts too so nobody can kill them. And that's only 10 accounts. Some botters run 100. The next two bot farms you can actually make a lot of money from killing. There's a relatively new runecrafting bot farm that uses the Abyss, but they teleport to the Corp Beast. They wear adamant plate bodies and adamant pickaxes. And they don't protect item. They actually have pretty high runecrafting, between 80 and 95 usually. There are enough of them in each world to make a lot of gold per hour just from killing them. They're all level 50 to 60 and they're in 15 to 20 wilderness, so you can kill them on most pure accounts. They don't even teleport when they're attacked and they don't hop worlds when they die. So I literally sat south of the Corp Cave and waited for them. And if you want to get the best GP per hour, pick up the adamant plate body and pickaxe, alch them, and then continue to kill the rest of them, so you never even have to bank. I didn't even hop worlds while I was trying this because there were 4 bots running on the world I was on. If you hop worlds, you might even make more GP, but after they die, they come right back within 30 seconds. They're not skulled the first time because they haven't been to the Abyss yet, so wait until they go to the Abyss once and then kill them again once they're skulled. They're really not getting banned very fast with 80 to 90 runecrafting. We are over 100k profit in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. We're looking at between 800k and 1 mil per hour. I'm not saying you should, but if you were to make a bot, it should be a bot that kills these bots. That would be epic. Something suspicious is happening in Last Man Standing. A lot of people don't suspect any funny business, and it's really hard to see here. A lot of players in the competitive games are really good hybrid PKers and much better than me. They wreck me in these fights, but then all of a sudden they just stop attacking me or eating at all and purposefully die. I've seen some people posting about a lot of their opponents DCing in LMS, and that's not what's happening at all. And it turns out if you freeze these accounts and go under them and switch weapons, their overhead protection prayers switch with the weapons you equip. Obviously, when you're standing under them, they shouldn't be able to see what weapon you're equipping. They aren't players using some auto prayer plugin on a third-party client. They are actually hybrid PKing bots. They stop attacking you because after a certain amount of time, you'll get a point even if you don't get any kills in the game. If you die too early in the game, you're awarded 0 points. But if you die after just a couple minutes, you get a point. And LMS points right now are worth a ton. If you buy a Wildy Crab teleport, it's 25k. If you buy Trover Parchment, it's 30k per point. I hope Jagex notices these soon and bans them, but in the meantime, Last Man Standing is a lot more profitable because there are like 3 to 6 bots per game that stop fighting back after a couple minutes. Someone sent me this tip on Twitter, and it's about a super interesting bot farm. Apparently, there are bots that go into raids looking for the best raids. That is the most efficient, quick raids. They then sell the raid's layout to teams for 500k to 3 mil. Teams pay for the efficiency and the chance at breaking a record. Apparently, these bots, just from scouting these good raids and selling them, can make up to 50 mil a day. They're pretty easy to spot. They're just the level 3s that run into raids without any stats. If you think a big bot farm has been permanently shut down, like the Master Farmer one in Drainer Village, they've probably just relocated to a less traveled area, like the Master Farmer on Zaya in Hosidius. They were on almost every world. Whoever set them up dressed them all in pink and as females and named them female names, usually starting with the letter V. Veronica, Victoria. Just make sure if you find them to keep reporting them. A couple months ago, I made a pretty dramatic video calling out Jagex about free-to-play botting. Every world had hundreds of bots that would just be replaced as soon as they were banned, trading the resources they collected to a different source, creating an endless cycle of botting and being banned yet still profiting. The number of bots looked terrible to new players testing out the game. On April 2nd though, Jagex made a big brain move. Emotions run really high when ideas like trade restrictions pop up, but Jagex struck a good balance of restricting trade for new free-to-play players without ruining a noob's experience. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but Jagex basically basically made it impossible for a new player to transfer wealth to someone unless they meet certain requirements like a bunch of quest points, levels, and hours played. I went back to the same locations where I filmed the original video. A lot of the locations had 0 bots. The most popular botting location was the Edgeville Furnace. Instead of 30 bots per world, I counted 3 to 4. Now, there were still a lot of fishing bots on Karamja, but part of the argument is they have to bot the requirements to then be able to sell their goods. The bot detection system will catch the accounts sooner into the process of actually making money, and the botters lose profit that way. Huge shout out to Jagex on this one, and thank you guys for supporting these videos. I think that video definitely pushed Jagex in the right direction, and a lot of that is thanks to you. I've set up a tip-off email in case anyone wants to send me information on cool projects they're doing in RuneScape, weird accounts or bots they find, or even if you just want to say hi. I've gotten a lot of wholesome emails as well. Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying these videos, definitely subscribe.
A huge thanks again to AFK Arena for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to go check out their new awesome content from their crossover event with Samurai Showdown for their 1-year anniversary. If you want to support my channel, remember to go check them out in the description to get all of the awesome upgrades I already discussed.